substitution again. Boxing out of the red corner, Tom Hickman. His opponent, boxing out of the blue corner, George Andrew. This is for the Tank Promotions Novice Lightweight title. And over for the evening, Mr. Mike Thompson. Seconds out for round one.
So the novice lightweight title is contested between Tom Hickman in the red corner, the black trim to his white shorts, and George Andrews in the blue, the gold trim to his white shorts. 5 2-minute rounds for these two young men. And I've seen a lot of George Andrews' training camp. I rate this young man highly. I think he's really one for the future, growing in to his career here, but he's against a live wire in Tom Hickman, so this will be a good test for both young men. George out of Longer's Gym, which I've got a long association with. That won't make me biased towards the commentary. I just don't do that. Anybody that knows me over the years knows once the bell rings, I just say what I see. And well matched, these two. As I said, novice title at stake, roughly the same height, same reach. It's Tom just looking to force the pace at the moment. George waits in the centre of the ring. Tom backs out, realising that George wants him to make the first move. Jab from George. Tom comes in with the straight right. Looks for it again. George pushes him back. Bobs and weaves, tucks up as Tom throws the jab, throws it again. Jab and right to the body from George, steps back. Nice work from both young men. Measured, controlled, they know it's 5 rounds. Good right hand through the channel from Tom. George pushes him back. That was a nice straight right hand. George has got to be aware of that. Tom, little feint with the shoulders through the right, looks for it again. George aware this time. Steps away, steps back in. Looks to work the right to the body, steps away from that right hook, throws his own jab. Lively start from both men, but technical as well. Steps away from the left and right. Not much between them in that opener. Had a good look at each other, and you could just tell two good young boxers there. 1 down, 4 to go.
Seconds out for round 2.
2 of 5, they touch gloves. As I said, Tom, the black trim to those white shorts, George, the gold trim, and it's George with the jab to the midsection, sees the right coming, steps away, tucks up tight as the hooks come in from Tom. Tom steps in, George waits. Little shimmy, throws the jab to the body, steps away from the right hand reply, pushes in. They break cleanly before our ref gets in there. Looks for that big right again. George aware of it this time. Looks for his jab to the head, right to the body in reply. Still very even so far. Jab from both men. George just a little backward step as Tom jab there. Looks for that right. George steps away from it. Tom little feints with that left, just raising it. More of a distraction. You know he wants to throw that straight right. So a little distraction with the left, but George steps in first this time. Looks for the left right, almost clips George with that right. Aggressive second round here, and that was a good right hand from Tom as he steps in. He's been the aggressor, the forward foot boxer here in the second. Little shimmies from George, slips away from that left, throws his own right, then right to the body. Looks to back Tom up. Tom turns, looks to get back to the centre of the ring. Our ref will sit between them. Tom looks to push out the jab. They both jab at the same time. Looks for that overhand right with that setup. Right hand in reply from George. And again, good round from both men. Tom happy to be the aggressor. George happy to box on the counter. So 2 down, 3 to go. Key moment, the midway point of this bout.
Seconds out for round 3.
3 of 5. Steps in with the right and then the left hook, Tom. George steps forward looking to reply. Ducks low, comes up. Tucks up tight as Tom lets the combination go. Stiff jab from George as Tom comes forward. Looks to step in himself with a short right. Leans into his man. Step back. Little bob and weave from George as Tom again looks to use that left as distraction. That's what he's looking for, the overhand right. George aware, they turn. Just a bit too close for either man to do clean work here in the third. They touch gloves sportingly. Tom looks for that big right. George steps out of range, looks for a little right to the body. They go again. George throws the left hook, slips the reply, but Tom doubles up on the left. George now pushes forward, just looking to work the rights to body and head. Oh, good left hook as they break clean there from George. Came over the guard and then a stiff jab. Again, they're fighting at close range here, boxing in the pocket as they say. Toe to toe, so both in range for the shots. Oh, slips that right hand again, George. Tom just looked to set it up. Throws the jab this time, Tom. Left hook over the top again in the counter. He's slipping those hooks and replying with the counters, George. 3 down, 2 to go in a good close bout, a technical bout for this novice lightweight title. There's Ollie in the corner for George.
Seconds out for round 4.
Penultimate round of this 5-rounder. Both young men look in great shape and fit at the weight. Little shimmies this time from Tom. George probes the body. And a good combination in reply when Tom went to the body there. Little uppercut in reply from Tom. But George is beginning to slip these shots nicely now and look for the counter, as he does with the left. Jab and cross from George stepping forward, pushing Tom back. These hooking punches are just beginning to get around the guard. How to say that? Nice uppercut in reply from Tom. Been a good pace to this bout, but it's also been technical and discipline. Good shape from both men. And again, George is just beginning to suss Tom's right hand. I feel that Tom maybe needs to set that right hand up more now with that left, because George is waiting for it and looking to reply over the top. Tom needs to set it up with the jab. And again, he just fakes and throws the right to the body. Looks for the uppercut. George aware, ducks that hook. And I feel that George waiting for Tom to initiate. Oh, and caught him on the way in. Beautifully timed. Looks for the jab, the hook to the body in reply from Tom. Steps in, looks for the left and right. George looks for the right to the body and head. Doubled it up. Came over the top, throws it again. Tucks low. Good movement from both young men stepping off that centre line. Well schooled, the pair of them. George doubles up with the left, throws the right, and then the right over the top. He's had success with the hook over the guard. They touch gloves, 4 down, 1 to go. As I said, 2 well schooled young men as we approach the 5th and final round. All comes in with the big right, lands to the body, Tom. George responds. Tom looks to stretch with that right. Looks for the uppercut. Close. Oh, but a big right from George. Again on the counter. His timing's been good. From about the midway point, he's really found his feet with these counters. Good jab from George as Tom comes in. And again, Tom paused with that left. You know he's got a big right hand. He's looking to use it. But George has done a good way of doing that roll and throw. He ducks low, brings his gloves in tight to counter those uppercuts. Then when he rolls back over, just like that, the right hand lands. And Tom hasn't quite come to terms with that across the latter part of the third and possibly the fourth and now the fifth. Is George will tuck up tight and then come over the top with the right hand on the counter. And again you see he tucks up here. Bobbing and weaving, both men. Good stiff jab from George. Steps away from that and then steps in. Little uppercut on the inside from Tom. Right hand again over the top from George. And he lands it again. And for me, that's just been the difference between the two men. From about the halfway point, is the way that George has tucked up and countered well. It's margins. These two are both good young boxers. And it just comes down to margins, and early on wasn't anything between them, but from the third onwards those margins have been the way for me that George Andrews has tucked up and then retaliated like this over the top. And I've got a feeling from about the midway point onwards, great sportsmanship by the way from both, but from the midway point onwards I think those margins were in favour of the blue corner with the way he countered well to the onslaughts from Tom Hickman. Let's see if the judges agree with me. Either way, two excellent boxers, big futures, and both worthy contenders for this belt. I just felt from about the halfway point, those little things that make the difference were in George Andrews' favour.
Please give it up for both boxers, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
Great sportsmanship, great boxers, lovely bout.
After 3 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. And all 3 judges scored unanimously for your winner and novice welterweight title. Boxing out of the blue.
George takes it, I thought so. Look at the joy on his face. That was a sporting contest from these two men. And it remains so, but as I said, from about the halfway point, I just thought he took it.
And still.
Mate, I'm so happy. I trained again, I trained hard for this fight. I said in the last one I was going to get a title fight and I did it. So I'm happy, man.
Will we see you back? You're going to be defending?
February, potentially. We'll just sort of see what happens, yeah.
Congratulations on your victory today, man.